Hello everyone, we're on chapter 9 and we're on paragraph 46. The Philistine who sees the embodiment of morality in an external code may see in the free spirit even a dangerous person, but that is only because his view is narrowed down to a limited period of time. If he were able to look beyond this, he would at once find that the free spirit just as seldom needs to go beyond the laws of his state as does the Philistine himself, and certainly never needs to place himself in real opposition to them. For the laws of the state, one and all, just like all other objective laws of morality, have had their origin in the intuitions of free spirits. There is no rule enforced by family authority that was not at one time intuitively grasped and laid down as such by an ancestor. Similarly, the conventional laws of morality are first of all established by definite men, and the laws of the state always originate in the head of a statesman. These leading spirits have set up laws over other men, and the only person who feels unfree is the one who forgets this origin, and either turns these laws into extra-human commandments, objective moral concepts of duty independent of men, or else turns them into the commanding voice within himself, which he supposes, in a falsely mystical way, to be compelling him. On the other hand, the person who does not overlook this origin, but seeks man within it, will count such laws as belonging to the same world of ideas, from which he too draws his moral intuitions. If he believes he has better intuitions, he will try to put them into the place of the existing ones. If he finds the existing ones justified, he will act in accordance with them as if they were his own. And 46 is summarized as follows. The Philistine who sees the embodiment of morality in an external code may see the free spirit as dangerous. However, like many laws, their origins begin in the intuition of free spirits. If one feels unfree, it is merely because they have forgotten the origins of laws that have been placed. If one believes he has better intuitions, he will put them in place, whereas if he finds the existing ones justified, he will act in accordance as if they were his own. The main point, again in this paragraph, is he talks about how the Philistine, which is someone like Kant who sees following external laws as the highest level of morality, he may see the free spirit as a dangerous person. But he makes a very important point here, which he says about, the conventional laws of morality are first of all established by definite men, and the laws of state always originate in the head of a statesman. These leading spirits have set up laws over other men, and the only person who feels unfree is the one who forgets this origin and either turns these laws into extra-human commandments, objective moral concepts of duty independent of men, or else turns them into the commanding voice within which himself he supposes in a falsely mystical way to be compelling him. Because if you look at things from a historical point of view, people, say in the 1600s had ideas, and then they made these ideas laws. So these ideas come from the world of ideas. They're their intuitions, and so 300 years down the line, who am I to say, oh, I'm unfree now? I'm like, let's look at the origins, how this first came up, and we see that was done in freedom. And so if I don't think it's appropriate, then I have to follow my intuitions and put something else in place, or I just accept them and see and try to understand where they come from. If we look at the rules in society, for example, we have to realize, these just didn't come out of thin air. Somebody had an idea and they put this idea in place. So what we as free spirits need to do is recognize, why are they putting these ideas in place? Sometimes ideas do have their time, and then you must chuck them away because now they're no longer relevant. And so that is where new intuitions come into play. But some intuitions, people have some rules, they're timeless rules, and they will always be useful and justified. And so that is what we need to look at. The key word is to look at the origins of intuitions and of laws. And that is a very important point that he makes here. And again, he points out at the end, if he believes he has better intuitions, he will try to put them into the place of the existing ones. If he finds the existing ones justified, he will act in accordance with them as if they were his own. So again, somebody has an intuition, they put some laws in place, maybe a couple of 100 years later or whatnot, we realize, hey, this is not a useful law anymore. Let's get rid of it, because now someone has the idea, this is not helping us anymore. And that's really true evolution is, you have something in place and then eventually maybe you don't need it anymore and you just chuck the rule out, chuck out the law. So again, the free spirit is not a dangerous person, because the free spirit is recognizing that everyone has intuitions, and that is what is the origin of rules and whatnot. And again, the main point he says as well is just that the one who feels unfree is the one who forgets this origin. That is the origin of having intuitions, accessing the world of ideas. So let's keep that in mind when we feel unfree about certain situations. Sometimes we just need to change our perspective and look at the origin of rules and laws. So that's all in paragraph 46. So we're going to move on to 47. We must not coin the formula, man exists only in order to realize a moral world order which is quite distinct from himself. Anyone who maintains that this is so remains in his knowledge of man at the point where natural science stood, when it believed that a bull has horns in order to butt. Scientists happily have thrown out the concept of purpose as a dead theory. Ethics finds it more difficult to get free of this concept. But just as horns do not exist for the sake of butting, but butting through the presence of horns, so man does not exist for the sake of morality, but morality through the presence of man. The free man acts morally because he has a moral idea. He does not act in order that morality may come into being. Human individuals with the moral ideas belonging to their nature are the prerequisites of a moral world order. And 47 is summarized as follows. Morality exists because of the presence of humans, not humans existing for the sake of morality. One acts morally because one has a moral idea. So the main point in this paragraph, he's basically saying that, morality exists because of humans. Humans are not put into this earth to make morality happen. And he uses the metaphor of a bull having horns. The purpose of the horns for a bull isn't to butt. It's just the bull is capable of butting because it has horns. So that's sort of a metaphor that he uses to show that morality exists because humans exist. So if there were no humans, there would be no morality. But humans do not exist just for the sake of morality, and that a free man acts morally because they have a moral idea. They don't act just so that morality can come into being. And that is a very important point. You're not doing good things for the sake of being good. You're just doing good things because you have the idea and you have the intuition. So that's basically all we're going to cover for today. We only have one more paragraph, and I'll probably do a quick summary of the overall chapter in our next session. So have a good day. Bye.